Out here in Arizona, we know a thing or two about good tortillas. Today I'm cooking up 3 simple quesadillas, including a local legend called the Cheese Crisp. Let's get cooking.
The first quesadillas we're going to work on are very simple, and these are super quick to make. Just some corn tortillas that I'm going to put a little bit of grease down on the griddle. You can use a cast iron skillet just as easily. As a matter of fact, that's how I do it most of the time, but I want to cook for it once, so I need a little extra room. So we're just going to soften up those tortillas a little bit with the oil. Then we'll add some cheese, a little bit of salt, and that's it. We don't want to let them cook too long. I don't want to really fry them. Just get them softened up.
All right, they're about where we want them, so I'll put some, I've got a blend of Mexican cheese. I'm going to put on 2 of them. And then some good old Kojak on the other 2. Then I'm going to hit them with a little bit of salt. And we'll fold them over. In theory. There we go. Just want to get a little bit of color on the tortillas and get that cheese melted. And that is all there is to it.
Now these little corn tortilla quesadillas are pretty good while they're hot, so you want to get after them and get them served pretty quick.
Quesadilla literally means little cheesy thing. So that's the one constant between all the quesadillas is they have queso or cheese in them. Our second quesadilla is a little more complex than the first one, but equally as good, if not better. We're going to start with a flour tortilla, a little bit larger, and we're going to add some cheese to it. And for my meat this time, we're going to use some ground beef that's been seasoned and add some green chilies to it. Now you can use chicken, you can use shredded beef, you can use pork. Any of these go great inside a quesadilla. But today, ground beef with some green chilies, so let's get cooking on that beef. I'm going to add just a little bit of grease to the pan before I put the meat in there. This is 80-20 beef, ground beef, so it's going to have plenty of fat in it, but I like to give it a good start. I don't like to add it to a dry pan. And this is just under a pound of beef. I'm going to season the beef with some salt and pepper. As well as some garlic powder and cumin. And if you've never tried cumin in your Mexican dishes, it adds that something special that sets it apart from other seasoning. The beauty with this quesadilla that we're going to cook is you can cook your meat, have it all done ahead of time if you're going camping or on a picnic, and just bring it out with the cheese and little baggies and add it to your tortillas when you're ready for it. Or you can do like I'm doing and just cook your meat. I'm going to add the green chilies to it. About 1/3 cup of roasted Hatch green chilies. A little nod to our neighbors to the east, down there in Hatch, New Mexico. Wish you guys could smell this. There's nothing quite like green chilies when they're cooking. All right, we'll let that do its thing for a minute. Now this 80-20 beef has a lot of fat in it, as you can see. So we will try and avoid that fat when we get it into our quesadilla. And this will be done cooking here pretty quick. Now I usually like to use tortillas that are a little bigger than this. These are raw tortillas that I found at our grocery store, and they really have a good flavor. I'm not a big fan of the packaged tortillas at stores. I'd rather go to a nice Mexican restaurant and buy tortillas from them. And you can get those all the way up to the big burrito size for about 12 inches across. But these will do. Right now these are kind of translucent, and as they cook they'll turn white and start to get little bubbles in them like you see forming right there. Although I live in the middle of nowhere, you can tell I've got a softball field next to us and the girls are having a good time. All right, we're ready to start loading these up. So first I'm going to throw on some cheese. And our meat. We'll get this guy folded over. We'll give that cheese a chance to melt, and we'll dig in. All right, I think we're pretty much there. I'll just give these things a little bit of a slice while they're still on the griddle. Make it a little easier to eat. Well, here we go, gang. Quesadilla number 2. I'm going to put a little hot sauce from Macayo's taco sauce on here. And then I'll use some of my homemade salsa. I'll have to give you guys the recipe for this salsa because it is so good. All right, let's see how we did. Whoop, there's one that missed one. Let's dip that over here. Give her a try. That is so good. The Mexican cheese, one of the good qualities of it is it melts very creamy. Then we have the Kojak in there that melts, but it's not quite as stringy, not quite as gooey, whatever term you want to use. But the blend together with that spiced ground beef and the red chilies. You saw how simple this was. Be an awesome lunch, snack, dinner, at home or out on your campsite, or on the back porch, like where I am. This is so darn good. So I'm gonna go eat. Don't go away. We're gonna do the Arizona favorite, cheese crisps, coming up. And for our last treat for the day, our final quesadilla, is what we call a cheese crisp. Now here in Arizona, when we go to a Mexican restaurant, we'll get chips and salsa. But that's not the appetizer. That's just a promissory note that tells us that food's coming. But for an appetizer, we usually choose what's called a cheese crisp. Basically, it's a flour tortilla that's been lightly fried with melted cheese on it. It sounds pretty simple, but man, is it good. So hang around here for a second and I'll show you how we make them. Now, instead of using oil this time around, we're going to use butter. That gives it that neat flavor. Just drop that tortilla on there and give it a spin. Start it to cooking. Now, oftentimes we'll put not only cheese on top of these cheese crisps, but we'll put strips of green chili or some chopped cilantro. But this time I'm only going to use some cheese and a little bit of salt for seasoning. As soon as I see it get a little bit cooked on the one side, I'm going to flip it over, throw a little more butter on the griddle, and then hit it with some cheese. Just to help that cheese melt a little bit, I'm going to cover this with my Dutch oven lid. Well, there it is, gang. The cheese crisp. Add a little bit of salt to it. I'm going to cut it up while it's on the griddle. And it is ready to serve. There's often times when my wife and I just are not quite hungry enough to fix a complete meal, but we are always up for a cheese crisp. You get a good look at how that cheese is melted on there and how crisp the tortilla is. This is going to be good. Well, I already know how it's going to taste, but just for the fun of it, I'll take a bite. Look at that cheese. Don't know how something so simple could be so darn good. Give this a shot, guys. 3 different quesadillas for you today. Very simple meals that you can cook. And this is just plain fun. The kids can cook this, and this will become a staple. We eat these probably, I don't know, once or twice a week. I never get tired of them. Like we said before, you can put some strips of green chili on here. You can add some cilantro. You can add some sour cream. Anything you want to do with these cheese crisps. An Arizona specialty and one of my favorites. Thanks for watching. Have some fun with your quesadillas.